This is a one-piece pattern case campaign chest, which would have been made either side of 1900. What do we mean by a one-piece pattern case campaign chest? Well, a pattern case campaign chest basically is a campaign chest where the carcass is the pattern case, as opposed to a chest which has been made with a separate pattern case, which would then form a piece of furniture in its own right when you set up at camp. So the top, the back, the sides, they're all painted pine in a colour which is fairly typical of pattern case chests. Now, pattern case chests were also made as two-part chests. The one-piece ones, as a rough rule, tend to be much later in date, towards the end of the 19th century, rather than the middle or second half of the 19th century. So let's spin it around quickly. We can see it's got brass corners, not just to the top, but also to the bottom. And for extra strength, it's also got 4 iron straps just on the back there. You can see that the backboards are made of 3 boards fixed together. Now, there are signs that at some stage somebody fitted carrying handles to it. Those wouldn't have been on there originally, and we'll show you why later, but there's still some shadow marks of those there. We've also got an iron strap down here to add strength, and we've got some great panel doors to the front here. So let's open them up and show you the interior. So, hidden behind the panel doors, we have got 3 faux mahogany drawers. So these are also made of pine, but they've been stained, coloured to resemble mahogany to give it a little bit of a smarter finish. And we can also see the wonderful panelling to the insides of these doors, which have also been painted in faux mahogany. Lovely little carved detail here to the moulding, just to accentuate it and lift the piece a little bit. We've also got some cut moulding to the upright and the top, again just to lift it, and also in the drawer dividers. So we mentioned before that the top overhangs slightly on the side here, and the reason for this, well, and also why it never would have had handles originally. The reason being, if we can just get the key out there, is that this door and the other one is made to fold completely flat. So that's, when you're using it, out of the way, nice and neat. If you've got carrying handles there, that's obviously not going to work. So let's move in a little bit closer and just show you these great swing hinges that allow that action to work. So this is the swing hinge, which both doors are fitted with, and we can see on its action there that it allows the door to completely go flush. There's the detail of the moulding on the panelling as well, which is quite nice. And while we're here, let's have a quick look at the handle. Now, that handle is fairly typical of a later date of this chest, circa 1900. While we're here, we'll also have a quick look at the feet and the blocks. Now, the blocks and the feet had been removed when we bought this chest, but it was obvious that it did have feet and blocks from the shadow marks, so we've replaced it. So those turned feet there are on wooden threads, and they unscrew to remove. So when you do that, you're going to lose about 4 inches in height, which gives you a little bit more versatility in its use. Get in there, we can see the hinge again, which just allows the whole thing to swing nicely, and a bit of a detail on the moulding. So looking at the top, we can also see that the owner's details are painted there. And if I just tip it so that the light works for us, you can make out hopefully that it says Captain E. Chester's Rogerson Cardigan Artillery. And the Cardigan Artillery were militia volunteers who were based at Aberystwyth. And Rogerson became a lieutenant in the Cardigan Artillery in May 1889. Moved up through the ranks, became a captain in 1894, 18th of April 1894. So we know that it's unlikely that he bought this chest before he became captain in 1894. In 1902, August 1902, he was given the rank of honorary major in the regiment. So that gives us quite a nice timeline, which confirms our dating of circa 1900 of this chest. He was a captain between 1894 and 1902. In 1902, he also went off to the Boer War in South Africa, for which he received a medal and 2 clasps. So perhaps he bought this chest to take out to South Africa with him. Perhaps he had it already for use on the training camps that the militia used to regularly go on. The Cardigan Artillery used to regularly, in the early 1900s, go down to the batteries at Plymouth and spend 40 or more days training there, camping and training. So a chest like this would have been very useful for an officer to take his belongings for such a long period of time on camp, but equally useful in South Africa. So we know that he then went on the retired list in 1909. His army volunteer career was winding down. But his rank, of course, gives us a lovely timeline for the chest. We know that he, from the rank of captain, that he had it from 1894 to 1902. That's when he bought it, which ties in wonderfully with these handles and the design of the chest. So there you go, a one-piece campaign packing chest made out of painted pine with faux mahogany pine show wood to the front, and it's going to be around about 1900 in date.